We recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in down market. That will change once you use my patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, just listen to Phil Grande.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. There's many reasons to listen to a radio show, but I think to listen to my show, you get the truth, you get clarity, and you get great information.
No matter what level of investor you are, Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success.
You know what? Most of all, it's fun. philsgang.com. Clarity, good information, and fun.
When the stock market is volatile, how do you invest intelligently?
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. There's no need for you to be panicking in a market that goes up 800 points one day, 700 points, then it goes down again. All you need is good advice, need good direction. You don't get that from your CNBC and the Fox business and all these crazy shows. You don't. Here's what you get from them. Thank you, Jim Cramer. But this is something that this really bugs me. Listen to this.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What? Their responsibility is to their partners and shareholders and not to you? Check my site out, philsgang.com.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need the experience of Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
What a difference it makes in your financial life. philsgang.com. It works.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Phil Grande has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
The stock stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
So is government spending, was that driving the GDP? Is there a correlation there?
It's certainly in the mix. It's one of the components, but it gets a weight that's much lower than consumer spending.
Unbelievable. Government spending is what drove the entire market. Government spending drove everything. Now, what most people don't understand is that government jobs is what's been driving growth, the GDP growth. Government jobs. Every time that our economy's not growing, and it's not growing, we just got our numbers in. We dropped from 3.4% to 1.6%. That's huge. That's huge. That's like pushing somebody off the, pushing your grandmother off the, some cliff, okay, and then go bring her back up and push her off a second time. I mean, that's huge. So for this guy, he's making so, oh, no big deal. Let me tell you, this is a big deal because what they do, and they can't grow the economy, and they can't grow the economy because the economy has too much debt. When you have too much debt, you can't grow the economy because when you have all this debt, the government rates go up to fight the debt. That means when a small business, which is the backbone of our nation, which grows our whole economy, which grows our GDP, they can't get loans at banks. Or if they're going to go get a loan at bank, the interest rates are too high. So when government is irresponsible and continues to grow through printing money and increase debt, then you're screwing the small business guy because he can't go get a loan, or he can get a loan, but interest rates are too high. That means that he's not going to invest. He's not going to get a line of credit. He's not going to use that line of credit, which is very important for business investment. When there's no business investment, that means you're not buying trucks and equipment and machinery. The whole deal is our country has always been driven, our economy has always been driven on small business. They're the backbone. You got to keep them alive. But when government continues to borrow and print, and when your growth, your debt is much bigger than your growth, or your ratio of debt, which should be at 60%. All healthy, rich nations, their ratio of debt is 60%. The ratio of our debt to our growth is 120%. We are screwed. Now, we're lucky we have a printing machine, because if we didn't have the printing machine, our lenders, Japan and China, they'd foreclose on us. But see, Japan and China are two biggest lenders. They know one thing: we're not going to default. If any other country who didn't have a printing machine had a ratio of debt to GDP went from 60 to 120, they'd be going into bankruptcy because they don't have a printing machine. But because we have the printing machine, but the bad news of that printing machine, printing all that money creates inflation. So now China and Japan are asking us for more interest rates. They want higher interest rates before they loan us money. Sure, we're not going to default because we got a printing machine, but on the other hand, we're going to be paying higher rates. And our inflation is going to get worse and worse. It kills our growth, kills our small businesses. That's where our jobs come from. What's this guy talking about? It's the biggest thing is the economy, is GDP. Now, what do they do to mask this? When they are spending more money than they take in, when our ratio of debt to our growth should be at 60, but it's at 120, they mask it by creating government jobs. Government jobs, that's what they do. And so they make the economy look healthy with government jobs. The jobs we had in March, it looks like just 70% of the 72 million jobs were government jobs. We had 300,000 jobs. It looked like 72,000 of the 303,000 were government jobs. But no, you got to add back into healthcare and service jobs. Those are all funded by government. So it's the same thing as government jobs. They just don't put it in a category. So the truth is, government jobs were 150 of the 303. That's ridiculous. But they don't tell people that. And when you have half of your jobs, your 303,000, half of those are government-created jobs, we're screwed. Because the guy on Main Street, who 20%, 30% of his income right now, net income, is going to put food on the table, he's got to pay those jobs. You and I have to pay the government jobs. When a person goes to work for private business, small business, they pay him. But you and I have to pay him. So inflation goes up even more. So it's a terrible thing when the government lies to us and says we have a healthy economy. Look at the jobs, but the jobs are mostly government jobs. Now, if we go back to this week, there was quite a bit of action in this week. And we just found out our GDP, as I'm just talking about, in February is 3.4, and now it's 1.6. We're going the wrong way. We're going the wrong way. You know, it's interesting. Most people don't understand when they look at the stock market and they see how the stock market in the last 15 years basically went straight up. They think, wow, the economy's good, the market's good. No. You got to look and say, how did it go straight up? How did the tech stocks go up 1,200%, the NASDAQ, and how did the S&P go up 650% with all this debt? Well, what you got to look at when you look at, I put my chart up here for you. Here's the S&P right here. The blue line, that's the S&P. Now, it's not so great. I had to do this in a hurry, but there's the blue line, the S&P. Now, what they did going back in 2009, they decided they would print money. They would print money to get interest rates as low as they can. So they print money, they buy treasuries to try to drive interest rates down. So they built a whole economy on this fraud. So when Biden came to office, remember, interest rates, he got them down. I mean, when Obama first came into office in 2009, he drove interest rates down to less than 1%, 0.12. By the time he left office in 2017, it was 1.1%. So think about that for a moment. So we were able to drive the stock market from 2009 to 2017. Why? Not earnings, not jobs, not margins, not productivity. All the things you need to have a sustainable economy, we didn't do. We just said, let's just print money and get interest rates down towards zero. So there he is. So Obama from 2009, he kept rates at less than 1%, and then finally when he left office is 1.1%. Now Trump comes into office. Now remember, this blue line is your S&P line. That's and the green line here is that's your money printing. That's the money that we print, the money supply that we increase through printing money, and we increased it by $15 trillion from 2009 to 2017. We increased that money printing to push the stock market up. Right next to that line is our debt. Our debt went from $8 trillion up to $34 trillion. So think about it. The stock market is going up on a credit card. Think about that. We printed all this money to get interest rates down to zero, and that caused all kinds of, and then our debt increased, and so this market has been forced up for 15 years. So what's going to happen now? I'll tell you when we get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing is to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
When I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grande.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially in the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Want the truth when investing in the stock market? Here's how.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Listen to my radio show every day because that's where you're going to get the truth. You're not going to get the truth listening to these dopes on Fake Business News Network. The other day, Kramer said, don't listen to the banks. They're giving you wrong information. When he told you to buy Merrill Lynch, remember? And what happened? They went broke.
Get the truth at philsgang.com.
Join my gang, philsgang.com. Get the truth. And also listen to me on my podcast on YouTube and Rumble. That's philsgang.com.
When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard. Things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing is to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. So they're doing everything they can to use earnings, this earning season right now we're in, to try to rally this market. I get that. I get the earnings. But they're not good. These earnings aren't good. There's only a handful of companies that have good earnings. Because majority of the companies, their net profits have dropped huge, because when interest rates are at 0.01, and when interest rates go to 7, in other words, if the Fed rate is at 5.3, they'll usually add on 2 points, sometimes 3 points. So, so corporations, understand me, are in deep trouble because of the rate of interest. So how do we get there? How do we get to this point? That's what's going to blow up this market and this economy, or interest rates. We've known this from 2009, but we didn't sit back and say, oh, we'll just sit back, wait for the market to blow up. No, we're not going to fight the tape. Our community of gang members did what everybody else did. We took advantage of it. Rode the rally. Rode to zero rates. But it's over. I'm not saying it's going to crash today, but it's at the end. The party is over. You know how you go to a party and there's 3 or 4 people lagging behind. Everybody else leaves at 1 in the morning. These people stayed so you got 50 people, but 2 people or 3 people hang around till 3 in the morning. That's what's going on. So let's identify where we are. So after 15 years of these rates at near zero, and here, let me give them to you. When Obama took over, he got in as president, remember, in 2009, rates were at 0.12. 0.12. Zero. And then when he left, it was 1.1%. Now, when he left, that was in 2017. So from 2009, 2017, the market, boom, went straight up. How could it not? Now comes in Trump. And Trump, remember, his rates, when he took over January 2017 to 2021, they were at 1.7 and dropped down to 0. Now. So now from 2017 to 2021, boom, the market goes up. So from 2009 to 2021, rates were above 1% for a very short period of time. How could you not have a rally? You'd be buying everything you possibly can. You'll never see this again. Now comes the problem, because remember, to push this rally up, that's like using a credit card. The stock market, the economy, the government was using a credit card. And when you dug deep and you dug into it, you saw the economy is getting worse and worse. And that's why the government created more and more jobs to mask it. Most people don't understand that. So now, not only do you have created all this money, you have to print it. It doesn't come from the sky. So you have to print all this money from 2009 now up to where I said Trump is. And that's called money supply. You're increasing money supply, which means you're increasing debt. Now, what happens is, as you're increasing that debt, now you're getting deficits. And deficits got to be paid. So you're printing money, okay, to push the market up. And now you got even more debt, because the government's spending more than they're taking in, so that's deficits. So now you got more printing. So by the time Trump leaves office, and again, understand this: if you go from Obama in 2009, rates were 0.12%. By the time Trump leaves, they're at 0.09. Now Biden comes in. Here we go. Here's the problem, 2021. They're still doing the same thing. More money supply. Now remember, our debt was at $8 trillion. Now our debt is over $34 trillion. Are you nuts? Our debt. But nobody cared because the market keeps going straight up. Now what happens is Biden comes to office, January 2021, with rate is 0.8%. But now he comes in, and the first thing he does, he gets rid of oil. He shuts down all the oil pipelines. He shuts down all the drillers. He shuts down Anwar, where we have about 10 to 20 million barrels of oil in the ground. He says, shut them down. No, we don't want to be independent. We don't want to be oil independent. We want windmills. What are you, nuts? So now interest rates start going up because Biden brings in Bidenomics. And part of Bidenomics, crush our oil independence, crush the oil companies, gasoline goes through the roof, food goes through the roof, everything's going through the roof, and now they got to fight the inflation that he's creating, so they're trying to fight the inflation. What do? They got to raise rates. So from 2009 to 2021, rates were at zero. We enjoyed this fake rally, and we rode the fake rally, took advantage of it. Then Biden comes in 2021, and we go from 0.8% to 5.3% in 4 years. Not even 4 years, 3.5 years. Do you understand what's going on? That's insane. And people say, oh, the market's just going to keep going up. Well, the market kept going up because from 2009 to 2021, rates were always near zero. This guy comes in from near zero in 3 years, 5%. Obama and Trump, for what, 12 years, kept rates down to zero. More when I get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. These are volatile times in the stock market.
Market's up 200, then it's up 800, it's up 700.
How do you get the facts when investing?
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. If you're confused about the stock market, get unconfused. Go to my site, philsgang.com, and listen to my radio show every weekday at 3 Eastern. What is the market going to do? We know exactly what the market's going to do.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
There's no need for you to be losing money.
Check it out, philsgang.com. What does it take to be a successful investor in the stock market? Developing your skills and learning from an expert like Phil Grande and philsgang.com.
It doesn't have to be hard or complicated to learn how to invest in stocks properly. It's like anything else. You're going to golf, or you're going to learn how to play tennis, ski. You need to be with someone. Learn off of them, one-on-one. Now, that can be really expensive, cost thousands of dollars. But I have a program that you can join for 10 days free.
Go to philsgang.com and sign up for a free 10-day trial. Phil Grande has developed tools to teach you how to invest in stocks properly. Not only when to buy stocks, but how to sell stocks short.
85% of people in the market lose money. Get out of that group by just joining Phil's gang.
Now you can learn to invest like a pro with a pro, Phil Grande. Take advantage of this special offer for a free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Try it. 10 days free.
That's philsgang.com.
philsgang.com.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. So everybody's wondering, what is the market going to do? Good question. But you're not going to understand what it's going to do unless you understand how did we get here? How did the market go up, 12 or 1,600%? Or 1,200%? I'm talking about the NASDAQ, 1,200%. And the S&P, 650. How'd that happen? Because they created a market with debt. They used a credit card. They used a credit card, just like everybody else. Debt. Not productivity, not business investment. No, they're not going to do that. No, they're not going to do business investment, increase productivity, buy new machinery, new equipment, train people. Oh, no. Let's not do that. That's too complicated. And we just went through a crash, and we got over $8 trillion wiped out in the stock market, about $10 trillion wiped out in the housing. No, let's get going. Let's get our money back. Well, screw Main Street. Who cares about Main Street? Let's take care of Wall Street. That means it's taking care of ourselves. So, Obama starts 2009. By the time we get to 2021, between 2009 and 2021, we never hit 1%. Interest never hit 1%. I'm talking about the Fed rate. That's the important one, the Fed rate. Think about that. That's 12 years. You know how much the market rallied in 12 years because there's no interest? People went nuts. Of course, earnings were going to go up like crazy because companies are going in, getting money free and buying their own shares. So when they do that, they're pushing earnings up without having earnings. There's no real earnings. When they keep reducing their own shares, they're pushing their earnings up, which pushes up their stock. It looks like their earnings. And they kept doing that with this zero interest rates to keep buying money, getting money, print money, keep buying treasuries, keep those rates down. The Fed kept their rates down. Now, Biden comes in, January 2021, Trump leaves him a 0.8, not 1%, 0.8 interest rate. This was January. June 2022, interest rates are at 1.21. October 2022, interest rates at 3.8. January 2023, 4.43. May 2020, 5%. 2024, 5.3%. Whoa! In 3 years, he goes from near zero to 5.3%, where these guys for 13 years, nearly 12, 13 years, kept interest rates near zero, and that's when we had all the big rally. So common sense tells you, since Biden took over, interest rates are no longer at zero, they're at 5%. So which direction is the market going to go, up or down? Anybody could answer that. Down. Why? Because markets go up when you keep interest rates low, because when you keep interest rate low, corporations have big earnings. Either fake, where they go and do QE, or real. You get interest rates down, the perception, buy. Because if a company has no interest rates, boy, they're going to make a lot of money. This dope comes in. First thing he does, I am going to be a green socialist. I'm going to please AOC. I'm going to please Bernie Sanders. I'm going to believe the wackos. I'm going to believe the left wackos. They're going to take care of me. They're going to get me reelected. Bam! What's he do? First thing he does, he goes in with his program, his Bidenomics. First thing, let's get rid of the oil companies. Boom, boom, close them, shut them down, get rid of the pipeline. Boom, no more drilling oil. Let gasoline go up 40, 50%. Boom, inflation goes up 40%, 40-year high inflation. So he puts the American COVID Rescue Plan in, the Inflation Reduction Act, and the Omnibus Bill. That's Bidenomics. And that's why we went from 0.8 starting January 2021 to where we are today at 5.3. Do you understand? And for someone to tell you, buy on that dip the other day, that was insane. And they did that. They set everybody up on that deal. Here's what happened. The market, take a look over here at my chart. The market rolls over. Here's the S&P right here. So after all these years, finally in October of 2023, interest rates are up now because under Biden, they're up 5%, near 5%. Well, how does the market rally near 5%? Because what they do, come up with a fake narrative. The narrative was, oh, we're going to do rate cuts. Rate cuts, they're coming right around the corner. Rate cuts. So the big institutions, smart, they know the tourists are going to jump in. Remember one thing about tourist investors. When I say tourists, those are just private, small little investors. The retail investor, remember, he never makes money because he has to always buy stocks. He always tries making money buying stock. He only buys, he never sells. He never sells short. And when you just buy stocks, it's impossible to make money because you have to trade to perfection. And that's what we teach you here, okay, in our educational community, that you got to know how to buy and sell short. Because if you're going to just buy stocks, you got to trade to such perfection, it's not going to work. And that's why 80 to 90% of the tourists the retail customers lose money. But let's get back to this. So when Bidenomics came in, boom, boy, was this guy spending like crazy. Man, $3 million to the LGBTQ, lesbian, gay, whatever it is here, transgender, queer museum. $200 million for the Gender Equality and Equality Action Fund. $7.5 million for, and it goes on and on. This guy's spending like crazy. Our debt going up and up and up under this guy, Biden. So finally, we're rolling over because the big institutions leave. The big hedge funds, the big banks, insurance companies pull out because they were willing to go along with the fake rate cut. And they're like us, like our community. We were buying stocks. We knew it was all fake, all phony, wasn't going to last. And remember now, from October 2023 to 2024 March, the only reason why the market was going up was on a fake narrative. We're going to cut rates, and interest rates are coming down. Inflation's coming down. Both face lies. Finally, the big institutions know that. They know that. They bail out. Now the market, look at this, bam, rolls over 5%. Now everybody panics. They got to, because at about 5 to 6%, there's all kinds of stops. If the S&P hits those stops, trigger those stops, the market's going to go down 20, 30%. So they had to make sure that the S&P that started to drop from March 26th. And remember, interest rates are at 5. Interest rates, the short-term Fed rate, the important rate, is at 5.3%. So what do? They got to rally the market. So they first come up with a story. They come up with a story on Monday. Oh, by the way, 40% of the S&P earnings are coming out this week. Oh, really? Yeah, and they're all going to beat their earnings. Of course they do. They always beat their earnings because they beat their own earnings. They set the earnings. So the retail customer, the tourist, jumps in, buying, and all you hear is buying the dip. They start buying. Next day, they got to move the market up again. What do we do now? I got to come up with a story. Oh, here's a good story. Manufacturing. The numbers come out for manufacturing. We're in a manufacturing recession. And I said, oh, that's good news. You know, the old bad news, good news, bad news, good news. This was bad news to terrific news. You know what they did? They said, I'll tell you exactly what they said when I get back from this next break. You will not believe how they moved a stock market with more BS.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Are you a stock market investor without all the information?
What are you, nuts? Market's going up, market's going down. We're getting all this bad information.
How do you invest intelligently? Phil Grande can show you.
If you want real information and you really want to know what the market's going to do and you want the truth, go to my site, philsgang.com, and also listen to me on my radio show every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
That's philsgang.com, where you get the truth and you get the information you need about the market.
Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grande.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. What does it take to be a successful investor in the stock market? Developing your skills and learning from an expert like Phil Grande and philsgang.com.
It doesn't have to be hard or complicated to learn how to invest in stocks properly. It's like anything else. You're going to golf, or you're going to learn how to play tennis, ski. You need to be with someone, learn off of them, one-on-one. Now that can be really expensive, cost thousands of dollars, but I have a program that you can join for 10 days free.
Go to philsgang.com and sign up for a free 10-day trial. Phil Grande has developed tools to teach you how to invest in stocks properly. Not only when to buy stocks, but how to sell stocks short.
85% of people in the market lose money. Get out of that group by just joining Phil's gang.
Now you can learn to invest like a pro with a pro. Phil Grande. Take advantage of this special offer for a free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Try it. 10 days free.
That's philsgang.com.
philsgang.com.
If you invest in the stock market, take a moment for this important advice.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You've got to stop listening to the fake business news networks because they tell you what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear.
Phil Grande guides you step by step on investing.
You're going to know exactly what the tone of the market is. Do I sell? Do I not sell? Do I buy?
All you need to know is philsgang.com.
Check it out. philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, if you really want to make sense of this market, you can't be listening to the fake business news network. They will not tell you the truth. They're to get you excited, to make sure you go out and you're happy so you'll buy something. That's not what we do here at Phil's Gang. We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang. It's free for 10 days. We have the best educational format, I believe, anywhere. You're going to learn how to really invest in stocks. Check it out. You can work with us for 10 days. Doesn't cost you a thing. Then if you like it, stay with us. But we have the best educational program. And remember what I told you. Nearly 90% of retail customers lose money. Retail traders lose money because they always just buy. They won't short. They're scared to death to short. But that's where Wall Street wants to put you. Make sure you are scared to death. They don't want you shorting. They short you. They don't want you on their side. So, again, that's why 90% lose money, because you, as a retail, you have to trade to perfection. You have to trade to perfection. Even brokers don't know how to trade to perfection. That's why you always lose money. We can change that for you. We can. And we'll do it in 10 days when you're not even paying anything. Check it out, philsgang.com. Okay, so let's get back to, think about this. For 146 months between Obama and Trump kept interest rates at zero. That's when we had a huge rally. How could you not? How could you not? When corporations are paying almost no interest on lines of credit, their earnings went up huge. Now, he comes in, Biden, and in 36 months goes from 0 to 5%. Crushed the economy, crushed the stock market. The only reason the stock market hasn't dropped yet, because they've been in, since they went to 5% interest rates. I'll show you right here, 5% interest rates. They kept stories going. Here you go. This is I'll put it right up here for you. Here's your interest rates right here. So when he started out, okay, Biden, oh my God, look at this. I mean, are you kidding? This thing went up so fast, these interest rates, and not only did the interest rate go up, Take a look look how fast the debt went up. The debt went insane. Look at this. And again, remember, our ratio of debt, look at this. See how it's staying right at that 60%, 60%? I mean, you go back from 1966, but start here in 1990. It stayed below 60% until guess what? When Obama got into office, he started QE, the zero rates. Because once you start printing money to get interest rates down to zero, because remember, not only are you printing money to buy treasuries to get interest rates down to zero, to get the Fed to drop their interest rates, that's creating tremendous inflation. So now you got to keep printing more money to get the inflation down. And then the government keeps spending more money they take in. You got to print more money to pay down the deficit. Soon you have huge inflation. So at the same time, our ratio of debt, look right here, our ratio of debt, our debt, okay, to GDP growth, our debt's growing, but our debt's the only thing that's growing. The economy's not growing. The economy's going down. So you have all this going against you. And then as this is going against us, he comes in and decides that he's going to use his Bidenomics, and that's when rates went insane. So what's going to happen is this. Let me get this up here. They're going to, like they did last week, keep telling stories to try to get the market, try to get the S&P back up to its high near that March 28th. Around that 524, okay? I'm watching on SPY, okay? I'm looking at an SPY chart. We're at 508. And you want them to try to get up there because it's not going to make it. And once they try to get up there and they fails, and when it comes down and takes out the low of April 19th, that low, panic will set in and everybody will just start getting out. And here's why. Because you don't have the safety net. You no longer have the safety net of the institutions coming in and buying. Remember, institutions would always come in and save the day. Now, what happens is the Federal Reserve, okay, I mean, not the plunger team will come in. You ever notice how the market was down 300 points the next morning? They're up 65 or 35 points to the good. That's the plunger team. So they'll continue to do that every night. They'll come in, and right before the market opens in the morning, they'll buy index futures to make it look like the market's opening up positive. And it does, but they fake everybody out. So there is no way that this market is going to sustain itself. No way. Now, the one trick they're going to try to pull is they're going to say, we're going to do QE again. And everybody's, oh, great, let's buy stock. That means zero rates again. No, they're not going to tell you that. They're going to do QE, but they're not going to lower rates. What they're going to do is take the banks and keep pushing money into the banks, and the banks take that money and keep pushing it out there to the corporations and try to keep everything going up. They can't bring interest rates down. It's impossible to bring interest rates down, not unless you want to go into depression. Remember, we're talking 15 years of near zero rates, and when Biden comes in, and he decided no longer that he didn't want democracy. He didn't want a republic. This guy wants socialism. And he doesn't really. It's just that's his base. That's his base, Bernie Sanders and the squad. And he's trying to please them. So he's made all these decisions to please them that's caused all this inflation and all this debt. The market can't survive on debt and inflation. Never has. Never can. Even between Obama and Trump keeping rates zero for 146 months. What, 12 years? It would end at some time. Because why? Because to keep interest rates at zero, you have to keep printing money. And while you keep printing money, and you're taking that money and pushing it into the money supply, that's inflationary. It's not the money. It's when they have so much debt, to get debt down, they have to remember, when they have deficits, when they're printing all this money, printing causes inflation. When the government keeps spending more money than they take in revenue, that causes a deficit. they have to pay the deficit down by printing money. So they're printing money to push deficits down. They're printing money to keep interest rates down so the market will go up. There's no good ending to this. The good ending is if you made money on the way up since 2009 with the zero interest rates and you got lucky, now's the time to get an education and how to make money on the way back down. But 80 to 90% of retail customers won't do it because they're sitting there thinking, oh, everything's great. See, here's the problem. We're at a peak now. When you get to a peak of the market, that's where everybody feels they're in la-la land. They've convinced themselves the market will never come down again. And anybody says that the market will come down are bad guys like me. They don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear the market's going to come down because the guy who's sitting in the market thinks you're calling him stupid. And they resent it. Yeah, they resent it. When I tell people the market's going to pull back or stop buying NVIDIA, you already made your money out of NVIDIA. And if I say NVIDIA is going to start making new lows, they get angry. Because like if I'm calling them stupid, I'm not calling them stupid. It's like 50 years worth of experience. Look, we have the best educational program than anyone. I don't have to prove that. I'm going to let you come to our education community, Phil's Gang. And for 10 days, you can be part of the community. For 10 days, you make that decision how good we are at teaching how to read charts, how to read the stock market, how to read the bond market, which is so important. Because when you read the bond market, it tells you if your stocks are going to go up or your stocks are going to go down. Tourists don't know that. They don't even know what the bond market is. They think it's a sandwich. So, look, we'd love to work with you. Go to philsgang.com. Sign up, free for 10 days. Be part of our educational community. And at the end of 10 days, I'm sure you're going to agree like everybody else, hey, this is good. I think I'm going to stay around. See you on the charts.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to make